Which Breville espresso machine is best for you? We tested a whole lot of them. Our top picks are the Breville Bambino Plus and Barista Impress Express. Breville's espresso machine lineup combines user-friendly design with professional quality espresso. They were one of the first companies to add a PID controller, an algorithm-driven precision temperature control module, to home espresso machines. Breville also pioneered quick heating steam wands that were ready to go in seconds and added user-friendly details that helped demystify the shot pulling experience for new home baristas. At the same time, a lot of their espresso machines look similar and only reveal their differences when you get down to the technical nitty-gritty. We put together this guide to highlight our favorite tested Breville espresso machines, along with a handful of others that we've had hands-on experience with in this video, to help you decide which model is right for you. Number 1. The best overall espresso machine, Breville Bambino Plus Espresso Machine. Packed with high-end features like precise PID temperature control, an algorithm-driven computer that regulates boiler heating, and an automatic milk steaming wand that aerates the milk for you, the Bambino Plus is also a user-friendly espresso machine, well suited for beginners and pros alike. It's quick to heat up, has a simple and intuitive interface, and is small enough to fit on almost any kitchen counter. And, of course, it pulls really tasty espresso shots, winning the designation as our top overall espresso machine during testing. Setting up the Bambino Plus involves a fair bit of unboxing of the various accessories and rinsing the machine pipes before the first use, all of which is clearly explained in the supplied manual. After running a rinse cycle through the machine, we brewed our first shot of espresso using the 1-cup double-wall filter basket. This basket is suitable for ground coffee from a packet, rather than freshly ground from beans. We use the tamper to compress the ground coffee in the filter, before trimming off the excess grounds with the razor tool. After placing the filter basket into the portafilter, and clicking it into place on the machine, we selected the 1-cup button. It took 21 seconds to brew a shot of espresso, and the coffee was wonderfully smooth, with a fantastic thick crema on the top, and when we added sugar and gave the drink a stir, the crema formed again. While we were making the espresso, the machine averaged 53 decibels, which is similar to the sound of a hairdryer. Next on our testing agenda was to see how well the steam wand worked. We chose to opt for the medium texture setting on the Bambino Plus and the medium heat setting. We used the automatic setting and placed the milk jug on the sensor so that the machine would know when the milk had reached the desired temperature. The noise level when the steam wand was in action was even lower than when we were making espresso, reaching 51 decibels while the milk was frothing. When we added the milk to our coffee, it retained a velvety texture that lasted all the way down our drink as we sipped it. Once the steam wand has finished heating the milk, you simply need to lift up the jug, remove the wand and give it a wipe. To help clear the pipes of milk residue, the wand automatically purges hot water into the drip tray when you put it back into the rest position, and this really does help to keep everything clean, although it does mean you need to give the drip tray a good clean after every use. The fact that the filter basket clips into the portafilter also helps with cleaning up, as when you go to empty the coffee grounds the basket stays in place and doesn't fall into the bin. For our tests we used the same good quality ground coffee that we've used to make hundreds of cups of coffee with a French press, but we found that the Bambino Plus surpassed our expectations, and gave us a smoother and tastier cup of coffee. Note that you won't be able to grind beans with this machine as you can with Breville's pricier Oracle Touch machine. The Breville Bambino Plus doesn't have an auto switch-off function, which is a shame, but to switch it off you simply need to hold down 2 buttons at once. Overall, the machine is very easy to operate, and cleaning is fairly easy. Best for, while this machine brews great espresso, its automatic milk steaming wand makes it an excellent choice for latte and cappuccino drinkers. It has 3 presets for both milk texture and temperature, delivering cafe-quality milk at the push of a button, and it's one of the cheapest machines in Breville's lineup. Number 2. The best espresso machine for beginners, Breville Barista Express Impress. For anyone new to espresso, the Barista Express Impress has a built-in grinder, automated coffee dosing, and an assisted tamping lever, and it's the machine of choice for multiple staffers. It has the same precise PID temperature control as other Breville machines, only this one automates every step of the shot pulling process for you. We were thoroughly impressed during testing by its coffee dosing system, which consistently portioned out coffee grounds within a half gram every time. In order to achieve the correct dose, the system uses a series of lights to tell you if the puck is too shallow or high. A just right puck displays a green light next to a smiley face to let the user know they have the right amount of coffee. It was easy to pull delicious shots, and its steam wand was able to produce microfoam silky enough to pour latte art. The Breville Espresso Press is capable of producing exceptionally good espresso at home at warp speed and with little to no mess and hardly any noise. This machine favors the convenience crowd with a more discerning palate for whom pod coffee might not cut it. There's a long list of machines over $1,000 that will afford you the chance at making better espresso, but nothing else we've seen or tested has made pulling a shot so quickly, easily, and reliably consistent and convenient. Best 4. This is an excellent machine for anyone who is excited about espresso drinks at home and wants a streamlined drink-making process that doesn't require extra training. Perfecting espresso techniques can be time-consuming, but even a person brand new to home espresso can make a great latte within minutes of setting up the machine for the first time. Number 3. The best Breville machine with a built-in grinder, Breville Barista Touch and Press. For the ultimate user experience, the Barista Touch and Press combines Breville's intuitive touchscreen controls with the automated dosing and assisted tamping of the Express and Press, and the automatic milk steaming of the Bambino Plus. Just select a drink on the touch screen, and the machine will walk you through every step of how to make it. The automatic steam wand also has an auto purge for easy cleaning, and it even has settings for different kinds of plant milks. This is also the first Breville grinder to implement precision baratza. A coffee machine can look great and promise a wide range of features, but the one area that is impossible to fake is if it can make a good coffee. The Barista Touch and Press builds on Breville's wide range of home coffee machine technologies to offer a setup that is up there with the best coffee you can make at home. The starting point for good home coffee is the grinder, and Breville has used precision burrs from well-known European grinder manufacturer Barista to ensure the most consistent grind possible. Coffee nerds aren't afraid to get granular about grind size, so you can spend thousands on more precise grinders, but for a home machine like the Barista Touch and Press, it's really only about grinding consistently and fine enough to produce excellent espresso through a 54mm single-wall portafilter. Throughout testing, I found that the grinder did a good job of repeatedly grinding recently roasted coffee designed to be had with milk. The Barista Touch and Press is able to then turn these grinds into espresso shots with consistent and thick crema that covers the whole top surface in the vast majority of cases. The 54mm portafilter is a slightly smaller surface area than 58mm commercial group heads, which allows Breville to get away with using a smaller pump. This is a really sensible solution in a home machine, as it produces an excellent coffee in a much more compact footprint, but the device did occasionally run an errant shot where the coffee puck would create enough pressure to force a significant over-extraction when no settings were changed. It only happened a couple of times over the testing period, making it a problem rate of about 1 or 2 in around 300, so we don't expect the grind size error to upset anyone, but it is indicative of why someone might invest in more precise professional components. When it comes to milk, the auto milk queue frothing capabilities are great for dairy, but your results will vary a bit for the alternate milks. Part of this equation is that alternate milks are simply less well suited to holding microfoam volume due to their lower protein concentrations, but you can probably get around 20% better volume and consistency if you are a well-trained barista doing your best work. Some fanatics may disagree, but I found this to be a perfectly acceptable trade-off for not actually having to invest the time to froth milk at all, since you still get a great coffee at the end. Best 4. If you're looking for an espresso machine that does most of the work for you, you'll be happy with the Barista Touch and Press. It's an easy-to-use espresso machine with a built-in grinder and a touch screen that can make your barista ambitions a reality. Number 4. The best professional-style Breville Espresso Machine, Breville Infuser Espresso Machine. The Breville Infuser features 2 programmable buttons and internal PID. Built with a 15-bar triple prime pump, the Breville Infuser is powerful. Even with the power behind it, Breville has programmed the infuser to apply low water pressure to evenly wet grounds for pre-infusion, and then jump to 9 bars to extract. See it for yourself. The infuser features a pressure gauge that tells you what's happening in the boiler. If you watch the gauge, you can adjust your machine so that you can have the best extraction. When you're ready for another cup of coffee, and you dump out the coffee puck, notice anything? The puck is dry. The infuser features a 3-way solenoid valve that removes excess water from the portafilter. As we mentioned, one of the highlights of the infuser is the programmable shot time. Breville makes programming pretty intuitive, but in case you're looking for a walkthrough, to program the infuser, turn on the machine and hit the program button. We recommend programming your machine with coffee in the portafilter since the grounds will retain water, but it isn't completely necessary. When you're ready to program, select either the single or double espresso button and it'll start the brewing process. Once you have the desired volume, select the same button again and it'll remember your new time. While there are no manual controls over espresso, you can always select the espresso amount you want, and then press the button again to interrupt the flow. The programmable PID is a step up from a lot of other machines we've seen. You can adjust the brew temperature up or down 2 or 4 degrees from the factory setting. The only downside is the temperature isn't displayed, so it's not as easy to read what temperature you're currently at. However, the PID helps temperature stability and we've seen it produce consistently hot and delicious espresso. The infuser features a traditional steam wand that rotates 360 degrees to reach those tough angles, and a dedicated hot water spout. To use either, there is a turnstile knob on the side that switches between steam and hot water. Another feature we appreciate on the Breville infuser is the auto purge after steaming. Since this is a thermoblock machine, you'll have to steam and brew one at a time. After you take the traditional steam wand for a spin, you'll hear and see steam being released under the drip tray. Instead of having to pull water through your machine to bring the steam temperature back down to brew, the infuser does the work for you. And it's an incredibly quick turnaround time to brewing. Within seconds, we were pulling a shot. Instead of a single boiler, the infuser uses a thermocoil heating element to steam water on the fly. The thermocoil is Breville's version of a thermoblock to help create consistency when steaming, and we love that. However, it does take a bit to heat up to full steam power. The slow acceleration to full steaming offers beginner baristas the opportunity to learn how to froth milk, but that does mean it'll take time. If you don't want to wait, we recommend every time you first turn on the machine to let the steam run so it can reach temperature. The Breville infuser is a great entry-level machine for anyone looking for an affordable, yet powerful semi-automatic espresso machine. It features 2 programmable espresso buttons and a PID that allows you more control over your espresso. And while some might want more steam power. Number 5. Best Value Breville Espresso Machine, Breville Bambino Espresso Machine. The Breville Bambino is the smallest of the company's espresso machine line, yet still manages to produce the cafe-quality results the brand is known for. Also, like its siblings, it is well built and relatively easy to use and clean. By itself, it is probably one of the cheapest machines on the market that is capable of producing cafe-quality espresso and steamed milk. However, it does not have a built-in grinder, so you'll have to purchase an espresso-quality one separately. For all intents and purposes, we think the espresso from the Bambino is almost as good as what you'd get in a cafe. We were consistently able to pull full, robust shots with great flavor and solid crema. If you really want to split hairs, the espresso is maybe a slight step below what an experienced barista at a really nice third-wave cafe could pull with a machine costing $10,000 plus, but for the most part, we think even picky coffee drinkers are going to be more than satisfied with this little workhorse. That great espresso taste is backed up by a steam wand that can achieve near-perfect results. In our tests, this allowed us to enjoy lattes and cappuccinos that were almost indistinguishable from what we could get in a cafe. Additionally, the Bambino heats up impressively fast, allowing you to steam your milk immediately after pulling a shot. Many fancier and more expensive machines can't do this, meaning your espresso shot, no matter how lovely, will be left to sit and flatten as you wait for the machine to be ready to steam milk. With the Bambino, one can follow the other with no wait, which made our barista testers very happy indeed. The Bambino is one of the least expensive machines we've found that can reproduce the kind of espresso drinks you'd get at a cafe. It doesn't have any sort of built-in grinder, so you'll need to purchase one to use the machine. Still, if you already have an espresso grinder, it is a great value for those seeking truly great espresso drinks.